Now what we're looking at is a picture of the goddess Amenornis. I know I'm not pronouncing it right. It's Amenornis. This is just another form of the goddess Kali. These was the goddess that came along during these gender wars to restore the balance. Again, man represents ego. During this time, you can see the mother striking the heads of the males in many ancient depictions around the world in many cultures. Just like Kali, just like here we have Amenornis and many others. And it is always only the males that these women goddesses are striking. I wouldn't be surprised if the male deity Amun gets his name from this goddess here, because all of the goddesses predated the gods. Everybody talking about Amun-Ra and they caught up with Amun today. I really believe, I hadn't researched this, that this may be the original Amun or Amen, because most of these goddesses predates the male deities. So here is another form of what I'm talking about. You can see the goddess Kali right here striking the patriarch. You can see she got the male's heads in her hands and the doggone animals are feeding off their heads. This is how serious it is. Notice this big red sun behind her head. That's the same sun that you see behind Jesus' head today. The same sun you see on top of Rob's head today. So this sun was taken from the mother. The son wasn't supposed to rule. He was supposed to enforce mother's law. A lot of these pictures, you'll see the goddess striking the man down, as you see in this one, with the sun behind her head, showing her in her deified form. Also, you will see Kali in all black like this. You normally see the mother goddess Kali depicted in dark blue, and this blue is a form of deification. When she go into the dark blue, dark black forms here, it's all about bringing justice. And what she really represents is birth and death. All of the goddesses raising their hands up, that represents life and death. It represents the spirit, the journey of the spirit. You can see here her two hands is raised high in that touchdown position, end zone, the same position I've been showing y'all, because this is the mother. And again, that's representing life and death. That's what you get when you surrender. So when you surrender to the police, they say put your hands up. This is all ritual. This is a form of submission. So you submit at death. You give up the air in the lungs. You lay the body down. You submit the flesh for a brief period until you make your spiritual journey, and then you come back into existence. Dying and being born are both forms of submission. You have to come to a place of submission. That became, like I said, an end zone sign, a touchdown sign. And this is just another form of the matriarch overthrowing the patriarch during these gender wars. This is a ancient Mesopotamian cosmos. Again, we know where Mesopotamia was in relation to Kemet and Sudan. We're talking the same Nile Valley cultures who shared the same cosmology. So you can see here it's simple. You have the serpent goddess, or the mother goddess, and she's actually forming the cosmic egg. This is a very simple Mesopotamian cosmos. Very simple. Kind of like the Mayan when we saw with the spiral down about a womb. We see those a lot. And you also see these serpents wrapped together making this DNA with the mother in the middle with her hands raised. So I've been showing y'all this picture after picture. I've been showing y'all the mother goddess in the middle with the hands raised. We see this mother goddess with the hands raised in the middle of the Dogon cosmos. We see it all around ancient Kemet, even with the goddess Kali and many more. And also in this Mesopotamian cosmos, we see the serpent goddess, the mother goddess, with her hands in that end zone touchdown position. So let's move on to the next picture. Same concept. Now we're going to compare this to the one we just saw with the serpent goddess in the Mesopotamian cosmos. What you're looking at now is a House of Judah coin, cosmic lion. And again, the cosmic lion is Sekhmet. That lion is the mother. What you're looking at on this House of Judah coin is actually cosmology. This is the cosmos. You see the earth flat plane right there in the middle with the line in front of it, and you can see the arch above represented in the curtains, and there's this light or chandelier hanging these curtains down, which representing the eye or the energy source of the Most High, that pole energy, again the North Pole, and these curtains represent that arch. And this is all cosmology that we see here. This is what we see in this Ethiopian coin. So I pointed this out to show you that our ancestors in Ethiopia and Kush practiced this flat earth mother goddess cosmology cosmology, we can even see it in their currency right here. This is the same thing we just saw in the Mesopotamian cosmos, okay? You got to understand that Kush was right across from Mesopotamia and Sudan. We talking neighboring cities here who shared the same cosmology for many, many years before the invasions came and they were given globes. So when you look at this House of Judah coin, you can compare this to the Masonic symbolism where they're showing you the cosmology. You can compare this to plenty planetariums. It's right in your face, all right? So we know that our ancestors in Ethiopia, in Egypt, had flat earth cosmology. And moving on, this is the Sumerian universe, which was divided into 4 quarters. As you can see, it's the same concept. Just like in the Judah coin, just like in the Mesopotamian cosmos, it's the same concept. If we look at this House of Judah coin and look at this Sumerian universe, you'll see the same thing. I'm really beating a dead horse right now, but I really want y'all to see how all of the ancients shared this same cosmology. When we look at this thing, in the middle you have your earth there, which is Midgard, and you can see it surrounded by a saltwater sea, and everything on the outside being these mountain continents is the outer ice ring, or Antarctica, which is a huge ice sheet that surrounds the circle of the earth. This is a very interesting layout right here, and I want to look more into this one in the future. But of course, you can see the heavens above and the underworld below. This is the lanced ball. This is balanced with the earth being the yoke where the life reside in the middle of this cosmic egg. In our reality, we see all life starting from eggs, and we say as above, so below, but for some reason, we accept the globe that teaches us that the life lives on the surface of the egg. Come on, people. You can't say as above, so below. And when we start looking at life and looking at the egg, we notice how an egg is layered, and the most innermost center part is where the life resides. Why would that change in the cosmology? As above, so below. The life resides on the inside of the earth, just as the same way a lot of these people in the Black conscious community would tell you that there's life living inside of Mars. Why is it the life living on the surface of Mars like us? These folks will tell you it's giants living inside of Mars. Mars ain't a physical place. It's a holographic projection. I keep telling y'all that, and I done proved that on this channel. I'm gonna keep proving it so you can get it in your head. We are the ones living on the inside of the planet, and they are hiding that from you. NASA is hiding that from you. Why do we believe NASA, but we say we revolutionaries? We say we're against the government's deception, but we believe them. Come on, Black people, wake up with your brother. I don't make these long videos for nothing. I'm not motivated by money. I'm motivated by undoing the deception. I was myself a victim of this deceit. So for those who thinking I'm doing this for money, FYI, I haven't received 1 penny in donations on this channel since I started it, and I don't beg for no donations. I appreciate you tuning in, getting this knowledge. That's my reward. Someone decides to give, that's just a plus. Now let's move on. Now what you're looking at now is just you can say it's a geometric diagram, so to speak. It just shows you the actual layout of our cosmos in a simple geometric way. So you can see how our cosmos design is very simple. You can see in the figure on the far left that the heavenly realms above and the heavenly realms below, you can see the cosmic eye at each of them representing the goddess, or that would be your touchdown hands. That's where you go to meet the mother and to transition. Even if you look at this top diagram of the figure on the far left, you can actually see the Adidas sign or the trident present when all of these shapes start to connect. You can see the mother's trident being formed at the top, and that's the Trinity that take place at the North Pole of the Archdome. And we also take this journey. So we meet the mother, we meet the one who feeds this cosmic egg as she transitions the soul. This figure on the far left, I can go in on this one for a long time. It's very deep. You can see the flower of life in the middle. That's very significant. Existence takes place in the middle. Heaven is balance. Heaven is medium. Everything happens in the midway point, guys. So you see your flower of life in the middle represent the tree of life, the earth plane, whereas humans reside. This is where the soul experiences the reality at. I really hope y'all grasp how deep this is, because this is the spiritual realm, people. What you're calling spiritual realms should be called transitioning realms. You are a spirit. So again, like I said, you say that you are a spirit having a human experience. No. You are a spirit enclosed in a mini cosmic egg. The totality of what you are is all of these areas of your existence. So your spirit, your body, your soul, your mind, you are all of that. You cannot say, I am not this body. We got to stop saying that. You are your body. You are your mind. You are your spirit. Your body shapes the way it shapes and it looks the way it looks because it fits your spirit. Your body is only a reflection of your spirit. Your body is what your spirit uses to be here. Your spirit don't have an existence outside of the body. You are one multi-dimensional being, just like this cosmic egg don't have an existence if we move one of the layers away. So stop separating yourself from yourself. You one being of totality. We have been lied to. Ain't nothing wrong with your body, and it's not a curse. It's what the spirit is using right now to be able to download information about reality. The spirit put the flesh on, and it comes to Midgard, and it walks around, have fun, and has an experience because it's the spirit, okay? And it comes here to have an experience, all right? It doesn't come here to hear all type of crap about it's a curse and it's cursed for coming here. It came here to go to the beach. It came here to have fun. It came here to raise children. It came here to eat fruit. It came here to love the animals. It came here to smell the fresh air. Your spirit came here to live through the body, but it cannot do that as long as the mind has been deceived to curse the body. There is no balance when you curse the body. The body is part of you. It's part of your multidimensional self. So in moving on, you can see in this figure on the middle, this is again just the yoni, the cosmic womb of the mother, which is the diamond. So when we talk about the womb or the cosmic eye or the yoni, we're talking about the cosmic womb existence, and you can see how that play out on the far right. So from this womb or from this cosmic eye, you get the flower of life in the middle, creating our existence. Now I'm gonna go deep into this diagram in the future. So keep this concept in y'all head, y'all, of the balance, the ball lanced, the lanced ball. When you draw the X and you put the line in the middle, you just lanced the X, just like you lanced the ball. Remember, the ball and the X are the same thing. X represents 0 and a circle represents 0. They both represents the egg because the X is the X chromosome and the 0 is the egg of the woman, where all life starts from the waters, and those waters get separated when the waters break and the baby is born. This is very divine cosmology, as above, so below. Keep this in y'all mind of the lance ball, the balance. All right, and remember our geometric diagram. And now we're flipping over to this. This is your cosmos. For those globe heads who love globes, there is a globular aspect, but you don't live on the surface of the egg. We are the yolk. So if you see in the middle what's called terra, another word for earth is terra firma. Terra going with the earth ground, firma meaning the firmament above you, and that's how we get terra firma for an ancient earth name. Now what you want to pay attention to in this diagram is that this is a Sumerian cosmos, and the word they have for the archdome or the firmament, or where the sky goddess Nut would be arched over right here, the word they have here is seal. C-I-E-L. This later became the word we use today, ceiling. Everyone in their house, they look up to their ceilings, okay? We say the word ceiling, and the word ceiling comes from this ancient Sumerian word dealing with the firmament dome called seal. So y'all can see how this stuff play into our modern reality and how we can't really deny this stuff. I'm pointing out to y'all so much stuff, you'll have to be a fool to deny it. So in the ancient Sumerian cosmology, they called the firmament the seal, which later became the ceiling. What I want to point out to y'all is the C-I-E-L is the S-E-A-L. It's the Great Seal. It's the covenant. So the seal, the C-I-E-L, being the sealing or the archdome, remember the arch of the covenant. The Most High promised that she wouldn't flood the creation again. So that's why it's called a seal in Sumerian cosmology, because a seal is an agreement. So the sealing, based on as above, so below, the way we talk in our vocabulary, come from ancient cosmology. All right. So a sealing is something that's above your head, but it's also an agreement, man. We have a sealing here, a bond, a seal. Every country has a great seal. All right. And that's a bond. That's an agreement. That's a covenant. So when you look at this Sumerian cosmology, it supports everything we see in ancient Kemet and everywhere else in those surrounding cities. They call the firmament dome a seal because it was the covenant. Just like the sky goddess Nut, she's making the arch with her back. That's the arch of the covenant. Now they want to deceive us today, got us looking for a little ugly little box talking about it's the Ark of the Covenant. Get real. People have been bamboozled. Foolishness and the stupidity. Get so worked up I have to step back sometime when I see how dumbed down we are, and my brothers and sisters come and attack me for giving them this truth. Now again, the word seal is sealing. That's got to do with the agreement and the covenant that was made by the Most High. When you look at this cosmos, I want you to pay attention to the earth plane, because like I told you, it's a circular disc plane that we live on. But when you see it in this cosmology, it look like an oval, because like I said, that's another way of drawing a circular plane. This how you draw a 3D object on two-dimensional paper. So the circle of the earth looks like a oval, but we know it's a circle, okay? But what I'm showing you is that your cosmic eye. When you take two circles and connect them, you always get this little oval type football shape, what you see in the cosmology that makes the earth. So when you look at the cosmic eye, when you look at the yoni and the football, all of that is nothing but the earth plane. It's the symbol for the earth plane. The symbol for the earth plane is the football or the cosmic eye. This where it all happened, y'all. This the stage, okay? So in moving on, this is the same concept of what we just saw. Now this is the order of Sheba, come from the Rasta wife line. You can go online and find them, but I just showed this to show you the Ethiopian messianic symbolism here. This all goes back to the Lion of Judah, which is Sekhmet. Here again is your six-pointed star, what they tell you the Jews have, because they supposedly be the chosen people of this Lion of Judah. But we know that Judah is Sekhmet, and we know that pretty much anybody who agree with nature and want to uphold Ma'at, it don't matter your color or your race. If you respect nature, the mother will accept you. If you look around Mama Callie's belt, she got men heads around that belt of all races. So the mother don't discriminate. If you a black devil or a white devil, she's still gonna do away with you. You don't get a pass because you black. I don't know what people keep thinking. I don't know why we so bamboozled and so blinded by ego today. Now look at this thing, y'all, because you looking at the beetle cosmology, the bee cosmology. You looking at the Mercedes-Benz sign right here directly in the middle with the goddess head in the middle of it. That Mercedes-Benz sign is nothing but a trinity. Some of y'all call that the Baphomet today. So a six-pointed star is nothing but a Merkaba, as above, so below. If we go back to this Sumerian cosmos, this is nothing but a six-pointed star. When you talk six-pointed star, you're talking one triangle upward connecting with the triangle that's downward. When they connect, they create a hexagon in the middle. Same concept here. We talking about one arch dome upward and the arch dome inverted being the underworld below that. When you connect them, you get the earth plane existence, which is a yoni or a football or the cosmic eye. This is where existence take place. Remember, it's called existence, and earth is called planet X. Now let's move on. Basically, we're going to run through some more ancient cosmologies. I'm not going to really describe them. I basically did all of the describing I need to do as far as the layout of the cosmology, the arch dome, and the North Pole energy that flows out of that arch dome, and the earth plane. So when you look at this Sumerian cosmos, that's what we're looking at. The underworld is a bowl, and at the end of every season is the Super Bowl or the World Cup. This is all symbolism. The ending is the bowl or the cup. I got into that in previous videos. You really need to be thorough with the series, because you miss a video, you miss a key part. So in moving on and rushing through this is an ancient Hebrew conception of heaven and earth. As you can see, it's the same concept I've been showing y'all. You got your 4 foundations of the earth below. I told y'all that this was a drain type system that we're in. So you can see all of the waters right here on the earth plane area. There's actually a hole in the middle of the earth that they are guarding. No one is allowed to look at it, but it's a beautiful 360-degree waterfall. It's like a drain that recycles all of the water here on earth. So this place is very magical. They're basically hiding our reality from us. We're basically living in the Truman Show. So this depiction shows you how all of the water flow down, and it flows to what's called the waters below. There's an ocean below us. There's an ocean above us. So as above, so below. So we can never run out of water on earth. There's an infinite supply. This is a self-sustaining system, and the waters is constantly renewing themselves. They are on a constant cosmic journey. The sun and moon aren't controlling the ocean tides. Plenty flat earthers have proved this. If that were the case, the ocean tide would flow in a circular pattern with the moon and sun. So that's impossible. What we're looking at with the ocean tides is an inhale and exhale, low tide, high tide, just as you breathe in and out, as above, so below. The waters of the earth are constantly renewing themselves. I went deep into that in previous videos, so again, I have to move on here. This is a KEMETIC cosmos again. You can see the sky goddess Nut. What I want to pay attention to is in the sky goddess Nut's body, of course, you can see the stars, but you can also see these little discs with snakes on either side, and that represents the goddesses, okay? That's the goddess portal that you see. This is the whole layout of the courtroom, the Trinity of Ma'at. What you're looking at now is another form of Nut and Geb. It just baffles me why KEMETIC brothers and sisters of mine think that we spinning on a globe. We go back to ancient Kemet and put our ancestors on a pedestal, but yet we won't accept this flat earth idea that they had. We still want to accept the invaders' globe, and we don't want to give them back all of their stuff. But y'all, you got to. It's the final chain of slavery, giving them back that dumb globe they gave you. So this is beautiful. This is carved in the walls. We cannot find a solar system carved in the wall of Egypt or Kush. We can't find no globe earth carved in the walls of these pyramids. All right, somebody will have to be looking damn hard to find one, because I've tried and I can't find a solar system amongst our ancestors. Only thing I can find is what you looking at in front of you. Flat earth. Accept the truth, doggone it. You can see below the sky goddess Nut the circle of the earth and all of the life that's on it. And if you look real closely, you can see Geb in another form down there with his hands doing the touchdown. If you look real close, the flat plane of the earth, you can see his head in the middle of it. His hands is doing the touchdown. Again, that's the underworld. That's the end zone. That's your field goal post. That's at the end of football field. Is a field goal post, and this represents the end zone. This is where you touch down. Your casket touch down in the ground, and you begin your cosmic journey. And that can be symbolized when the special teams come on the field and do the kickoff. That's the cosmic journey. Now, when the first down start, that's life. I'm gonna get into all of this ritual symbolism, how it relates to sports in the future, but we got to get a foundation first, people, because most of my brothers and sisters, I know people subscribe to my channel of all races, and I embrace all races, but I got some work to do, because we clearly lost. And this the reason I get called coon so much. You're falling into the victim of the government. You're running around here with ego and hate, and your spirit is shriveling up. Your spirit is being controlled by these people. You're going every way the wind blow instead of empowering yourself with knowledge. So let's move on. This is another Ethiopian depiction of the cosmos from the Canaanites. We know that the Canaanites are related to the Cushite people, maybe even the same people, all right? So when we talk about Cush, Canaan is a form of Cush, if you ask me, and especially if you look at geographic location. Here is their cosmos. You can see in this one too, like I said, the sun and moon are equal sizes. forces, yin and yang. You can see that the stars are inside of the arch, just like the goddess Nut got the stars inside of her body. People, they are so specific and it's so accurate. All of these different ancient cultures with this same layout. It's something we really got to consider, brothers and sisters. We can't just ignore this. Now, I'm going to be getting into all of these in the future. So we see this consistency. I don't see how my brothers can argue that our ancestors thought they lived on a globe when I'm showing you this cosmic egg. Back again to this basic Sumerian one. This is your globe concept here, but the earth is inside of this egg on a flat plane. Now, what happened is later on throughout time, we were given Aristotle's universe. All of the invaders started taking our concepts and changing them into their ways, adding and tweaking them to fit their deities and to make us slaves. As long as they allowed us to keep our original cosmologies, they would never take the fight out of the soldier. As long as the enemy allow you to keep worshiping your gods and keep your traditions going, you will always be reminded of that history, that cosmology, and who you are, and you will try to protect that part of your culture and your history. So what the enemy have to do when he conquer you is take away your history, take away your spirituality. How you take away all of it is simply to take away your cosmology, because your spirituality and history, everything lies in your cosmology. This is why NASA is so important to the Pope and the Vatican, people. So this is Aristotle's universe. You can see how they just took our idea of a cosmic egg and tweaked it. So what happens is in the ancient cosmos, you'll see that we're surrounded by the mother. You surrounded by the goddess Nut. You surrounded in the ancient Mesopotamian cosmos, you surrounded by the serpent goddess. That's the covenant. That dome around our head is the covenant of the Most High, protecting us, saying that none bad will happen to us while we live here, because we protected by the firmament. The firmament, the root word is firm, y'all. It's firm. It's solid. And that's the covenant. Creator said it ain't gonna never break. Don't have no worries. Dwell in peace. Live in peace. So that's how it became the seal or the sealing. It's very important, y'all. This is the covenant right here. This is the arch of the covenant, what the goddess Nut is telling you. So when you go to Aristotle's universe here, you see how they completely moved the covenant and got us open, y'all. They got us exposed to a void of darkness where now the earth can be hit by comets. The earth can be clashed into by planets. They broke the covenant with us, y'all, in our mind. They made us doubt the stability of the Creator's creation. The Creator made that firmament above our head and told us, don't you ever doubt the stability of the design. I'm the master architect. When we talk about architecture, y'all walk in these buildings every day and use the elevators and you have no fears. You trust that these buildings gonna hold up. You trust man's creation, but you believe that the earth gonna blow up. You don't trust God creation. You think God's stupid, but man's smart. You go in the mall, you don't worry about the building collapsing, but you worry about the earth being hit with comets, and you worry about the Creator creating a cosmos that can be destroyed by cataclysms. It's ridiculous, people. This is all the work of these patriarchs who invaded our cultures. They took away the arch of the covenant. They took away the sky goddess Nut, who enclosed us and protected us. They took away the firmament. And now in your mind, you believe you in space flying around a void of darkness. So in our subconscious, we're not protected. Any given moment, we can die from a cataclysm. And this is how patriarchs rule over the people, through fear. Fear. It starts in the cosmology. Once they get you to question the stability of God's awesome design, they're gonna become your God. Once they break the covenant with you and they get you to question it and they give you outer space and take away the arch of the covenant, which is the goddess Nut, which is the firmament dome of the Most High, now they can tell you all type of spooky stories and have humanity ruled under fear. Now we'll give them all our tax money to build fake technology, the so-called prevent a disaster from happening, when really, y'all, our Most High always told us that we was enclosed under this arch and this covenant. The Most High told us we never had nothing to worry about. Why do we accept the lies from these deceivers? So once the world grasps this ancient cosmology, our fears will go away. You'll realize climate change and all of that stuff is deception. You'll realize we've been lied to create new budgets. We are slaves, y'all, and we are being ruled under our own ignorance. We got to stop listening to the liars. We got to give them back this blasphemous cosmology that puts us in a void of darkness and subject to cataclysm at any given time. We got to get our feet back on immovable flat ground like the ancestors. This is detrimental to the psyche of your children. They give them the globe for a reason. My Kemetic brothers and sisters, my African brothers and sisters, y'all know they don't give us nothing good. If they gave us the globe, you know it's for our destruction. Lose your ego and accept the truth, my brothers and sisters. I was lied to just like you. Now, I had a few more of these ancient cosmology depictions that I wanted to go over with you guys. What I decided to do to trim this thing on up is just to skip forward, and I'll just make another video in the future with those. What you're looking at in front of you is called the human journey from Mesopotamia again. This is where we get our stairway to heaven concept from. So I don't know, I believe it's the OJs. They made the song Stairway to Heaven. This is just another form of Mesopotamian cosmology. I told you guys about the cosmic journey. We also see this type of architecture done in the South America, in the Aztecs, Mayans. Like I said, all of the ancients shared this mother goddess cosmology. So the stairway to heaven is not even possible when you look at the Aristotle's universe that many of my brothers and sisters accept. Brothers and sisters, understand that the universe you accept belonged to Aristotle. It wasn't created by our ancestors. I'm showing you what our ancestors created. So keep this in mind with the stairway to heaven concept. This is actual cosmology from Mesopotamia. Again, this thing was represented in so many forms. Each one is beautiful. It's really art, if you ask me. Here's typical architecture that we see in Mesoamerica and Mesopotamia. Wow, that's kind of crazy that we say Mesoamerica and then we say Mesopotamia. There is a relation. The Indians built their teepees on this same cosmology. The ancient people lived in dome hut structures based on this cosmology, as above, so below. This is just the same Olmec and Egypt concept with the structure that we see here. It's really made in the form of our cosmos, a big resemblance of the Mesopotamian cosmos and the stairway to heaven concept. So we're gonna keep it moving. This is an Egyptian astrological depiction on the ceiling of the chapel of Osiris, and this is in the temple of Dendera. I just showed y'all the goddess Dendera, and as you can see on this picture, all of the deities surrounding this disc are holding their arms up in this touchdown position, symbolizing life and death, and they're around the astrological zodiac, what I call the cosmic wheel. The earth doesn't move, but the stars carry out a circular pattern above us, and they rotate around Polaris. The North Pole star is called Polaris for a reason, and it's stationary. All of the other light fixtures in the night sky circles around it. This support the ancient cosmology 100%. The stars would not move this way if we were on a globe. If we was in Aristotle's universe going reckless through this void like they say, our night sky wouldn't be as consistent as it is, people. We would not be looking up at the same night sky today as these ancient people looked at when they created the pyramids. Those pyramids in Giza would not still be getting aligned with Orion if we were in Aristotle's universe, y'all. That alignment would have been knocked off years ago. Ain't no way it would have been this consistent and perfect. It's this consistent, and the ancestor was able to build in alignment with the stars because they knew one simple secret we don't know today, that the earth was flat and that it doesn't move. Once you accept those two facts, there is no mystery of how the pyramids was built. It's simple. They're lined up with the stars because the earth is still and the stars are moving. If they both were moving, that alignment could not take place, y'all. And moving on, this is just the same exact concept that we saw in the temple of Dendera, and this is nothing but the cosmic wheel. This is nothing but the ancient Chinese this zodiac. All of the ancients were consistent. They all were on point and in agreement with the cosmology. This is the zodiac you looking at from our Kemetic ancestors, and this is the same zodiac that the ancient Chinese had. They showing you the yin and the yang in the middle, how the sun and the moon make their circuits with the night sky, with the stars in the night sky, and how they revolve above our lovely flat earth and make their circuits around Polaris. It's sort of like a carousel type concept here, and you can see it here in this. This is the holographic principle in quantum mechanics, and they would give you so much mumbo jumbo with this when really it's nothing but the zodiac. It's the cosmic wheel. You can actually see the North Pole star at the center on the right. If you look at the right there, in the direct center, they got the North Pole star stationary, immovable. All right. All of these stars and light fixtures make their circuits around Polaris. And that's what you're seeing here in this quantum mechanics holographic principle. They call it the holographic principle because they know none of these light fixtures are solid places. I've been showing y'all pictures over and over how these stars look in a telescope. Y'all believe in what you've been told, but how many of you own a telescope? Brother Sanchez own a real good telescope. And I can tell you right now, what I see through my telescope is not solid. I'm looking at holographic projections. So this footage you see of Venus in front of you is what I'm talking about, how they would look. If you would do a time lapse, these things actually will show you holographic distortion. No solid object can do that. Even when we show you these pictures of stars through the telescope close up, they're twinkling rapidly, switching colors rapidly. That is all the behavior of holographic light. We're viewing holographic light fixtures through a medium, and that supports what the ancestors said about the firmament. This here is an early Egyptian's impression of the night sky. And again, it's nothing but the cosmic wheel again, above a fixed earth. This is your cosmology. You see this cosmic wheel all in the movies all around you where they showing you this symbolism. In the movie Interstellar, this is just a picture of the cosmic wheel from Interstellar. Went past everybody's head. They thought they was just looking at some vehicle gadgets, but really they just showing you the cosmic wheel. And here again, early Egyptians' impression, same thing throughout all the cultures. And what do you know? The same thing we get from the French occult, the hedge masons. See, they're hiding this simple truth behind spookism. All right. Once they accept these sciences, they know you don't want nothing to do with them because you look at them like the devil. You empower them with all of these evil powers and boogeyman powers that everything they touch, you don't want to go nowhere near it. When they dealing with all of your ancient science, all of your ancient history, and giving you the theories and the dumb crap to keep you away from it, you really got to wake up. We really got to. So this is the cosmic wheel. It's the same thing that the Masons showing you right here. And they didn't create it. They get it from the ancients, y'all. I got plenty of videos showing y'all how the Masons stole this cosmology and use it against us. So in moving on, this collage is just a few gods and goddesses, ancient Kemet. What I want to point out in the top left corner is what you see above Ra head in this picture is not the sun disk. So if you look at Hathor down there, you always see the egg in the middle of those females' horns. We have to go back to the matriarch cosmology. We can still have reverence for Ra and all of them, but the true source of all the info and power have to go back to the mother goddess. Now, to make a long story short, this symbol Ra have over his head in this collage is the symbol of Ouroboros that I keep showing y'all. That is the symbol of NASA. I'm pointing this out to show you that when you accept Ra, you accept a patriarchal cosmos. Just like you can see in a lot of European art of the Greek deities holding a beehive that represents the cosmos. The beehive represents the cosmos. So when they tell you he got the whole world in his hand, they had to make the earth small so that the patriarchs can be able to dominate it. When the mother dominated the earth, she didn't have to desecrate it because the earth is just an extension of her. Again, all of your gods, all of your male deities are Johnny-come-latelys. There was no such thing as a god. There were strictly goddesses in the beginning. And anybody in the Black conscious community want to argue with me with that really got to be a fool, because these the same people who say the black woman is God, these the same people who say the woman created everybody and she was first. Then when I tell them that Ra should not have a cosmic egg on his darn head, they want to argue with me like a fool because of their ego. Now let's move on. I want y'all to look at this little layout of these deities here. You can see at the bottom is most of your goddesses. You got Atum at the top. And what did they say about Atum? The very old one, the primeval being. That's a lie. How can you be older than the mother, than the cosmic mother, than the primordial waters of Nu? These concepts of Atum, Tefnut, and Nut and Geb, they came from a period of our Kemetic ancestry where the patriarch and matriarch were being blended. But as you can see here, all types of corruption. They got Atum at the top, which represents Adam, the building block of life. But what they're not telling you is the atom comes from the X. Atum is not the very old one. Atum had to come from a mother, right? Then that man had to come from a mother. He is not the very old one. He is not at the top of the cosmos. I showed y'all earlier in this video the power source at the top of the cosmos. If you look at where Amen was in that tree of life, what we're looking at now at the top here, that black zero represent the cosmic womb of the cosmic mother. That's the singularity. That's where it all began. Okay, I told you all numbers were birthed from zero. All life was birthed from the womb of the woman, and it sits above Amen. It sits above Atum. We got to get out of the way of the mother, man. Stand back and let her lay the law down so we can enforce it like men. Because it ain't no balance today. It's chaos, because males, we represent ego. We got to understand what we are and use what we are to benefit the mother, because the cosmology is within her. So as we move on, I'm gonna just point out to you, you can see below him this dude Shu doing your touchdown like the mother. Now he supposed to be represent Aaron moisture, because we know that once we get in those heavenly realms, we dealing with the gaseous states. We dealing with the transitioning phase. When you get to the gas state, that's where you transition. Now you go back to liquid and then solid again. Right now you're solid, then you're gonna go to liquid to gas. When you get to gas, then you start back upward again. You go to liquid to solid. So Shu representing Aaron moisture that carried the sky, and he got his arms in the life and death position, the rebirth position, for a reason, because those are the elements at play when we make our cosmic journey. We assume the liquid form, we assume the gas form. In my personal belief, I think we assume a light form as well as we come back to the solid. It's a continuum. People, all I want to say is, if you still listening to me right now, I want to say I really appreciate you for looking at the entire video, because I know it's extensive and it can suck putting all of this together for people just not to even pay attention to it. This is very important stuff. Share it with everybody you know. Everywhere you go, talk about it. We are in a time of awakening, and there's nothing more important than spreading this truth, because this is what will set us free. This is the knowledge that will empower the people. With all of that being said, remember, new uploads every Thursday. Peace and much love.